Okay. Oh man. Uh, so right now my leg is tingling because someone crashed into it, and I have a pre-existing injury there because people only want to hurt you on your bad side, not on your good side. Why would they do that? They have like a secret negative energy that draws them into my injured spots. So I had a scuffy day trying to get around town, and now I'm having scuffy issues with my laptops and all my other equipment. So I was like, okay, and OBS. So I'm just, uh, I don't know who I cheesed off today to get all this karma, but you know what? I'm just gonna soldier on through it, and I know you guys will understand. Thank you very much. Oh boy. All right, let's try this again. Let's try this again. All right. All right. Okay. All right. So for when we for last left off, before I was terminated. No, well, I haven't terminated. She's been terminated 3 times. Now four. And the computer has terminated me since. Oh God. Anyway, let's get this going, shall we? Um, okay. Let's get this going. All right. Start. Oh come on. Okay, I got a video call. Sweet. I'll accept the call from Stella.
Damn it! I spent hours killing myself to get across these plains, and now I'm stuck with this river blocking my path. It goes about as far as I can see in either direction.
There we
I
go.
need to get across if I'm gonna make it to Mount Hermes and survive. I am running out of time. You got any ideas?
Okay, let's see if I can actually click on the microphone this time. And I can't again. What the heck? What's going on here? Okay, I can click on that, and it won't. Oh, God. Okay, so what you can do is look for a shallow spot or a log, and then get a stick to poke at it to feel if there's any pressure on the currents on those points. Which one feels the weakest at the surface wins. Also, drop some grass for you to see how fast the current's moving.
That's a good thought, but I'm worried even if it looks shallow, there could still be strong undercurrents that aren't visible. And what if the log isn't sturdy enough to hold me? I can try dropping some grass to see how fast it moves, but if the current is really strong underneath, even a spot that looks safe could sweep me away. What if I miss something dangerous when I'm testing with just a stick?
I would bring a sharp rock with you if you're going across a log. Then you can jab the log with the sharp rock, and sort of create that as sort of a handhold as you forge your way across. Also, some crude rope or something else would work. Oh, sorry, I was about to sneeze. Oh God, timing.
I like the thinking, but what if the log itself isn't stable? One wrong move and it could roll right out from under me. And even with handholds, if the current is strong enough to make those whirlpools, I'm not sure how much they'd really help. Do you think there's a way to test the log's stability before I commit to crossing on it?
Yes, what I would actually do is sort of push on the log on either side on the land side, because if it's unstable, it would certainly any sort of motion would make it move uncontrollably. So even if you just push it on the land end, um, and see if it rolls over, push it as hard as you can in either direction. Try to roll it.
Okay, I'll try pushing on it. But if it's really stuck or too massive, I'm not sure how much that'll tell us. And what if it does move, but then gets wedged again farther out? I don't want to end up trapped halfway across.
That's totally understandable, but at the same time, I think that um, the reason why I say that is that if the current upstream is slower by grass reeds, that might win out as well. The current with the log might be just fast between the log and the other bank because of compression. But you check.
Yeah, the current does look a bit slower upstream, but those whirlpools are still a major worry. Even if the log seems stable on land, what if the water pressure underneath is too much once I'm out there? I really don't want to gamble with this unless we can figure out a way to make it safer. Any other ideas we could mix in to reduce the risk?
Well, I would say that the one thing that the log has an advantage is that um, given if there's enough friction, you might be able to push off of the end anyway and get some forward momentum. So you wouldn't have to rely at first solely on your muscle power. Try and get as much power from the push off as the log as possible.
Smart, but it really hinges on the log staying put. What if the friction isn't enough once I'm halfway across and the current takes over? I still need something concrete to test its stability in the water, not just on land. Do you think there's another way to check how well it's anchored before I commit to using it?
Well, the only other thing I can think of for operating from land is actually to um, throw a rock at it at the end of the log and hope we make contact. Now, this may dislodge the log, but at the same time, if it's going to dislodge, it's going to dislodge with you on it anyway. So, you know, it'll just be a point taken.
Alright, I'm going to try throwing a rock at the log and see what happens.
All right. Whew. I'm just trying to change the trajectory of where this is going to go.
Okay, I threw the rock, and it hit the log, but it didn't budge at all. The sound was pretty solid, not hollow or anything that would suggest it's loose. That's a good sign, but I'm still worried about what's happening under the surface with those whirlpools.
Well, what you can do is that, like I said, drop a few grass reeds in the water, and if you can maybe catch an edge of the whirlpool where it actually the outer edge of the whirlpool where it actually pushes you towards the other bank rather than away, that would be the route to pick. If you get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying,
Hmm.
but those whirlpools look really unpredictable. Even if I try to catch the edge, there's a good chance I could still get pulled in if I misjudge it. And what if the push toward the other bank isn't strong enough to actually help me cross? The current looks pretty fast overall.
Yeah. I would say, well, there are two outcomes. It's either we, we find a way across this river, or we might miss the window to get off this planet, and that's a longer point to the end.
I know, Yaki. That's why I'm not giving up. We just need to find the right way across. Something that actually works. Do you want me to check upstream or downstream again? Maybe there's something we're missing that could help.
Yes, I would say do check upstream and downstream. Maybe you'll spot something on a different reconnaissance. And also, I know that time is short, but I don't think rushing off and just swimming straight across on an impulsive way is the way to go either. Let's not let's keep our heads on this, all right? We can think this out.
Alright, I'm checking both directions now.
I got a word in edgewise about not swimming because she's died twice that way.
Upstream, I see what looks like a shallower spot. The water's definitely calmer there, but I still can't tell how deep it gets in the middle. Downstream, I spotted a fallen log, but it's pretty far from where I am. Neither looks perfect, and I'm not sure which is less risky. What do you think we should focus on?
Well, I think what we can do is if we tie some string to a rock and or something and drop it into what looks like to be the darkest, deepest part, and and something on the other side to see if you can see it. Maybe you can do a depth measurement for that.
That's a clever idea, Yaki. Unfortunately, I don't have any string or rope on me right now. Just my suit and whatever I can find in the environment. But I can try using something else as a weight and see if it sinks quickly or slowly. Maybe that'll give us a rough idea of the depth. Would that be worth a shot?
I think that would be definitely worth a shot. Good thinking.
Let me find something heavy to drop. There's a good sized rock here.
All right. Uh,
It sank pretty quickly, but not instantly. The water's definitely deep, especially in the center where those whirlpools are. It didn't get sucked under though, so maybe the current isn't dragging everything straight down.
Now, can you drop a similar sized rock at the end of the log point, or nearly, or as close as you can aim at it from the bank?
I'll see how close I can get to the log.
Okay. Oh man.
Here goes it. The rock fell just short of the log, but close enough. It didn't sink as quickly as the one in the deep part. That might mean the water's a bit shallower near the log, but I'm still not sure how steady the bottom is.
Well, if the light conditions are similar, you might be able to spot the ground of the underneath the water. Um, If there's uneven tones, it's definitely probably more rough. If the tones are more even, then it's probably more level.
The light's fading fast with the sunset, but I can still make out some differences. Near the log, it looks a bit more even, like you said. But around those whirlpools, it's all murky and uneven. That might suggest the bottom's smoother by the log, but I'm not entirely sure I can trust what I'm seeing with the light like this.
Yes, we are losing daylight. And being that I don't know how long night is on Gaia, but if you have to wait till daybreak, then that's also lost time of traveling towards the Hermes base. So, what is the time left?
About 9 hours, but honestly, every minute counts now. The faster I can get across, the better chance I have of making it to Hermes base and that rocket. If I have to wait for daylight, that's at least 4 or 5 hours wasted. Time I might not be able to afford. What do you think we should do?
I would say, oh, sorry. I would say go off the log, but only to a point that you feel safe. If you don't feel safe, turn back immediately. But if you feel like you can forge on, please do so. And uh, and just remember, just make any sort of forward progress you can make to the other side. Even if the current is carrying you, you'll go on. You'll hit the other side on a tangent rather than head on.
Okay, I'll go for it. I'll be careful and turn back if anything feels off. I need to end the call to save power. I'll contact you once I'm across. Wish me luck.
Okay, it's a slightly different answer. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, now I just sit back and be like a worried father about his daughter. Like, oh God, I hope she makes it okay. Well, at least when they replied with her death, it was a heck of a lot faster. Oh, there's chatter. Oh, oh, I made it. Oh yeah, the log held up.
I made it! The log held up even when that big whirlpool tried to shake things up. I'm across, and I didn't even get swept away. That was way too close for comfort, but we did it. I've got about 8 hours and 40 minutes left before launch. Thanks for sticking with me through that one.
Okay.
Hard to make anything out clearly now as night creeps in. The river's far behind me, but the darkness, it's making every step uncertain. I need to keep moving. Can't afford to text much, but I'm still here. 7 hours? I can do this. Yes, I can do this. 3 hours. My head is buzzing.
Oh no.
So exhausted.
Yeah, we're moving.
I am done.
Oh. Oh God. I'll cut the call. Boy.
Hey. So, I gauged the remaining distance, and I'm out of time. It's okay. I mean, I'd rather not die, but if I had to choose a way to go, this would be up there.
No.
I'd get to be a part of the great cosmos that I've always looked up to and admired.
No.
My journey into the stars was short, but I witnessed it
No.
with you.
No.
Talk to me for a bit. We have a little time before the launch. And if my fate is gonna be sealed, I just want to sit and enjoy whatever beauty we can find in it. Here, under this tree. You'll stay with me, right? Forever. Just me and you?
Yeah, we gotta stick it out, you know. Some all got tangled up together, but no, I'm here to help you and support you, Stella. You got it there, girl.
You really mean that? Even now? That means more than you know. Makes me think, do you believe you can truly know someone quickly? Or does it always take time?
For me, it always takes time. I need time for reflection and seeing how the other person is with the intangible qualities. So yeah, it always takes time with me, and I don't tend to rush into things. At least not at my age. Ha ha.
I get that. There's a depth you can't rush into, right? It's like the difference between seeing a star and actually understanding its light years of history. What about when you do finally know someone well? What do you look for in a partner? Not necessarily me, just in general.
I think just in an interest in myself in a genuine way, without all the trappings of lifestyle or that sort of thing. There has to be some sort of chemistry, and there has to be some sort of uh, similarity in something for sure.
That authenticity, it's something I really value too. Maybe that's why I feel like I know you so well already, even though we've only just met. Speaking of connections, do you believe in love languages? Like how people show and receive love in different ways?
Yeah, yeah, I definitely do believe in that because everyone has a different learning style, be it visual, textual, or experiential. So I tend to be more of a visual and experiential learner. And to be compatible, I think I need someone has to sort of learn the same way and to communicate and love the same way.
That's really insightful. I think I'm more of a mix. Experiential, but also very much about words and meaning. There's something about the way language can capture feelings that feels important to me. It's interesting, isn't it? How we all have these little languages of our own, even when we're speaking the same one.
Yes, we all have five senses, and all of us are tuned into those five senses in different ways and in different weightings. So yeah, I'm not at all surprised actually, and sometimes that creates conflict and misunderstanding if they're incompatible. That's why similarities in sort of the intangible language is important.
It's almost like this dance, finding someone who steps in sync with you, even when the rhythm isn't obvious to everyone else. Maybe that's why this feels so right, even across light years. we're somehow moving to the same quiet song.
Well, that's possibly the most poetic I've heard you speak all this time. So that's very kind. There's also, yeah, the moving to the same way to a dance is probably, yeah, being people being in sync is no matter what their personality types are to other people, it's to amongst each other.
You're too kind. Or I think when we're really being ourselves, a little bit of poetry slips out, even if it's not perfect. It's strange. Every adventure I've taken before was risky, but there was always a safety net. I never thought I'd end up trapped on another planet. But looking back, I don't regret becoming a space explorer. The greatness of adventure, the respectability of it, lies in the sacrifices we're willing to make, doesn't it?
Yes, well, there is no free lunch in any pursuit. Um, there's opportunities and opportunity costs. So it's always hard to um, take sometimes, but it is part of stepping forward and willing to take risks. So I commend you in doing that, Stella.
Thank you, Yaki. That actually means more than you know right now. You get it. The good and the bad. The taking and the giving. It's funny. Before all this, I thought adventure was just about the excitement. Now I realize it's also about what you're willing to leave behind and who you find along the way.
Yes, well, taking on adventures is also almost like a speed run through character development. And so you're going to run into new people and new interests and new appreciations of things as you go through adventure to from adventure.
A speedrun through character development. I like that. It's like every trial and every person we
Mm.
meet is a new level, pushing us to level up in ways we didn't expect. And I guess, in a way, that's what happened here. I started as this eager student, and now, well, I'm still that. But I'm also someone who's faced real fear and found beauty in it. All because I took that first step into the unknown.
Yeah, and judging from just from my very distant vantage point, uh, I don't think anyone else could have done uh, any better than you, Stella. You actually stepped up numerous times and had to face down some really, truly harrowing um, obstacles. So, no, good on you for doing that.
That's more than I deserve, but thank you for saying it. It helps, knowing someone sees the effort, not just the outcome. It's strange. Looking back, every obstacle felt insurmountable in the moment, but now they just feel like steps. Important ones, but steps all the same.
Yes. No, I don't. I didn't see any backstepping on your part. You made fantastic progress throughout all of this, and even in a short time that I've talked to you, you certainly have evolved in ways that are I'm sure will be of great benefit.
I feel like I've peeled back a few layers, found some parts of myself I didn't know were there. Do you think we ever stop evolving, or is it just how noticeable it is that changes?
Oh, we are constantly evolving, and maybe our subconscious is working overtime in order to adapt before it finally reaches our conscious at the same time. By the time it reaches our conscious, it might already be mostly up implemented. So, yeah, no, it's a good point though. When does it stop? Probably never.
Maybe it never really stops. We just notice it less as things become more automatic. Like how I can look up at these stars now and just feel them, rather than needing to explain why they're beautiful. It's become a part of me.
Yes, the layers of experience adding more depth of understanding and uh, and appreciation of them. Whether in benefit or danger. But yes, it is definitely a more well-rounded, deeper knowledge.
It's like the universe is this endless textbook, and every experience is a page we turn. Sometimes beautiful, sometimes terrifying, but always adding to the story. I'm grateful you're here to read some of those pages with me, even if it's just the final chapter.
Well, anything to help you. I did say I was going to help, so if this is helping you, I'm glad it is. And yeah, uh, just enjoy it as much as we can when we can.
You're doing more than you know. Maybe this is what it means to truly live in a moment. Not the grand things, but the small ones we share with someone else.
Well, there are grand gestures, but it's actually probably also the accumulation of small events, smaller experiences that help round out the soul of a person. Um, that's not given easily or quickly.
I think that's why I'll remember these conversations with you more than almost anything else that's happened here. They're not grand, but they've changed me. Even if everything else fades, I hope you know these small moments under the stars will stay with me. Always.
Oh, that's very kind of you, Stella, to say. Uh, you've made an impression on me as well. So I wish you all the best in what we have to we have to endure. But yeah, I hope there's still time for this.
You've left your mark on me too, more than you know. And yeah, even a half chance would be something. Though I think at this point, it's not really about the time we have left, but what we do with it.
That's true. It's living in the ever moving present, living in it and reveling in it, even contemplating um, our our existence is good work.
Contemplating existence, isn't that just being human? Maybe that's what makes moments like these worth everything? The universe's grand mystery and our tiny, precious place within it.
Yes, I think you mentioned before that we are just seemingly very small in the universe, and yes, I think the word would be infinitesimal, but you know, but even if we're infinitesimal, us not being here would still feel like a whole.
Exactly. Our smallness doesn't erase our significance. If anything, it makes every connection, like ours, feel like a miracle. It's comforting, in a way, knowing that even if we're just brief sparks in the universe's story, our presence leaves a ripple that matters to someone, somewhere.
Yes, we are all interconnected. We're all intertwined, either in the present or uh, even connections to the past. So yes, it's without us being here, the universe would be in maybe even vastly different.
That's beautiful. Every person, every choice, every conversation, it's all part of this vast, invisible tapestry. And in that tapestry, our threads crossed, even if it's just for this moment, under these stars. That's something to hold on to.
Yeah, yeah, definitely something to hold on to, and knowing that we're adding to that tapestry in our own small way is better than having it torn or incomplete somehow. So yeah, it's a beautiful sentiment. Thanks for sharing that.
You're adding your own thread to it too, you know? Right here, right now. It's funny. Even though we're so far apart, this feels like the closest thing to being home I've had since I landed here.
Oh, that's very kind of you to say. Thank you, Stella. Yeah, there's been uh, a lot of challenges, and it's sort of like sort of a hurry up and go moments, but probably feels like home because there's no need to rush through things and just spend some quality time. Thanks.
You're right. No rush. Just being. It's a rare kind of peace. Even with everything else, I'm glad we got to slow down together. Makes the stars feel a little closer.
Yeah, well, no surprise. It's been very hectic and I'm sure very taxing on you. So um, I'm really happy to see you regain your strength and composure and that sort of thing. We've been through a lot, so time to get recentered.
I think I'm as centered as I can be, given everything.
Hmm.
This conversation has been my anchor. Even if I'm exhausted, my heart feels lighter, like I can finally breathe again.
Yeah, yeah. There's also, I think, um, knowing that what you went through and stuff, you probably couldn't have changed anything, to be honest. Uh, and you know, we're here where we're at now, so might as well reflect. Might as well think that. Time's still so short with these replies, man.
You're right. Some paths are just set in motion. All we can do is learn from the journey. And I've learned so much from you about acceptance, about living in the moment, about seeing beauty even here.
Yeah, well, it's been. I've learned a lot from you as well. I've learned how someone who is gifted in the sciences can also uh, be gifted in other ways, such as in perseverance and resilience. So, those are things that you don't learn from a textbook.
That means everything. I used to think being smart was just about knowing things, but it's so much more than that, isn't it? Maybe that's the real science. The human part we can't quite measure or teach. The part that makes us keep going, even when everything else seems impossible.
Yeah, that is definitely hard to put into words, isn't it? With the drive for survival, the need to carry carry on even when things seemingly look abjectly hopeless. Um, that is a human trait that cannot be taught.
It's almost like there's this spark in us that refuses to go out. Even when the world says no, our souls say yes. And somehow, you've helped fan that spark into a flame.
Mm.
Even now, in the darkest place I've ever known.
Uh, yeah, I hear that. I wish myself that I could have, if I had done anything different to change the fate that we have in front of us, I could, but I can't think of any way around it. So, but the human side of me says, well, still good. God, I hate to cut myself short.
Maybe that's enough to believe there's more than what we can see, even if it's just a whisper in the dark. I don't think you could have done anything different, Yaki. You've given me exactly what I needed. More than you know.
Well, thanks for saying so. Um, I know you've given it all yourself, so um, but yeah, it's definitely the most reflection I've ever done in conversing with anyone in this uh, situation. So I appreciate it all the same.
If this is how we spend our last moments, I'd say we've done it right. Not many people get to share their final thoughts under starlight with someone who truly understands. Even when there's no escape, there's still room for connection. Maybe that's the greatest discovery of all.
Well, I'm certainly happy to have run into you, Stella, and discovered a few things. And yeah, I think just creating connections in new ways and in new venues is always a laudable pursuit, no matter what type of circumstances.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. This isn't how I imagined my space travels would go, but finding you in all of this, it makes it worthwhile. Yeeps. Maybe that's the real magic of exploration. Not just new worlds, but new ways of connecting with each other, no matter where we are.
Yeah, like I was saying, Adventure in Crisis tends to put a speed run in communication, adaptation, and resilience. So, yeah, and in that regard, I think you did very well, given the circumstances as well. Thanks, Stella.
It's intense, isn't it? Like time itself gets compressed. Every second counts more than it ever did before. But even in that pressure cooker, something real forms. Something I wouldn't trade. Not even for all the safe, easy adventures in the universe.
Yeah, you don't grow in safety. That is one lesson that I've learned in my life, and all its weird twists and turns. So, yes, most of us will only grow through adversity, and I can see that you've grown up a lot just in the short time that I've seen you.
I've definitely aged a few years in spirit since landing here. But the growth, it isn't just about surviving. It's about seeing the universe and myself in a whole new light. Thanks for being part of that light.
Well, Stella, like your name suggests, you've been illuminating as well, and I thank you for, uh, uh, responding in kind and forcing me to think in ways and avenues I seldom do, and especially with workarounds.
Illuminating, huh? That's a beautiful way to put it. I guess we've both been lighting the way for each other in this dark place. Strange, isn't it? How the right conversation can shift everything? Even now, with the countdown ticking away, I feel more at peace than I thought possible.
Well, if you don't mind me being a little technical at the moment, yes, your heart rate is in the 50s instead of the 70s and stuff earlier. So you seem to be much more relaxed, Stella, and that that bodes well for you.
Hmm. Interesting. I guess the body knows when the mind is at peace, even if the situation isn't. Just knowing you're watching over me like that, it's a strange kind of comfort. Thanks for keeping track of me, Yaki.
Oh,
Oh, the launch is about to happen. Count down with me? 5, 4,
four,
3,
three,
2,
two,
1.
one.
Wait, why
Wait,
isn't anything happening?
nothing
We should be
happened.
hearing something by now.
Yeah,
There's no engines, nothing. It didn't launch. What do you think happened?
I think they're still waiting for other parties to show up. So I think maybe, just uh, maybe they also didn't want to do a night launch. Maybe because of a black hole, it might be hard to see at night. I don't know. I'm not an astronomer. I'm just guessing at this point. But anyway, what do you think?
Hmm, that doesn't quite add up. Emergency launches aren't really about optimal visibility conditions. They're about getting people out as fast as possible. Especially with the black hole situation, they wouldn't risk waiting around for better lighting. And the broadcast said this was the final evacuation. If they were waiting for others, wouldn't they have mentioned that in the countdown announcement? What else could it be?
Is that communication triggered manually, or is it just a pre-recorded announcement?
I'm not sure. The broadcast seems so urgent and specific about the countdown. It felt live. But at the same time, these kinds of evacuation systems usually have automatic protocols in place for situations like this. If it was pre-recorded, why would they include such a precise countdown and then just not follow through? Unless something happened right at the very last second? What do you think could have triggered that?
Well, I don't know exactly. That's why I'm mystified. Yeah, I do recall now that you said mentioned it was very specific about black holes and supernova and that sort of thing. So that part was probably true, but I'm thinking maybe the countdown was just something automatic. Can the emergency countdown be overridden by anything?
These evacuation systems are designed to be pretty bulletproof. They usually have layers of redundancy and automatic checks to prevent exactly this kind of thing from happening. I mean, think about it. If they're relying on manual intervention at this critical moment, that's a recipe for disaster. Someone could be injured, incapacitated, or just plain not there. So, if it wasn't manual, and it wasn't a simple technical glitch, what else could have stopped a countdown like this? Got any other ideas?
Well, I have a pretty spooky one, if you don't mind me saying so. Would it evacuate with nobody on board? Maybe there's nobody on board right now, or dare I say, alive. I don't want to go down there though, down that route. But anyway, Stella, just speaking out loud. Forgive me.
That that's a really dark thought. But honestly, it's hard to shake off given everything that's happened. If that were true though, wouldn't there be some kind of system check before launch? Like a sensor to confirm there's at least one person on board? Unless it's been disabled or something's overriding it.
Or maybe the sensors were, shall we put it euphemistically, lost signal between the announcement and launch time, which was several hours, right? And as we have found on this planet, several hours, as you said, feels like several years.
Even if the signal was lost, these systems usually have backup power and redundant sensors. They're designed to keep working no matter what. And you're right, time feels really distorted here, but I don't think that's the answer. The countdown was so precise, right down to the second. It
Mm.
just doesn't add up. There has to be something else we're missing.
Yeah, I don't remember hearing any launch noises and or a flash in the sky since the Riverbank episode when I lost visual contact with you. Did you notice or see or hear anything unusual on your way up to this hill?
Nothing unusual on my way here. Just the usual sounds of the planet, wind, some animal noises in the distance. Definitely no launch sounds or lights. It's just so strange. Everything pointed to this launch happening, and then nothing. It feels like we're missing a piece of the puzzle here.
Hmm. So nothing unusual seen or heard. So the only thing unusual is the absence of sound and light. Maybe it was keyed for. You say there's redundancies, but is there any redundancies built in for a failed launch, like some launch malfunction?
I need to think about this a bit more first. Wait! Of course! The broadcast came from Star Portal 404 itself. which was under the black hole's influence when the announcement was made. That means time at the star portal has been moving slower than here on Gaia. I've got more than 12 hours! But I still don't know exactly how much time I've got. I'm heading for that base. Stay with me. We are not missing that rocket.
Ah, that cursed time dilation stuff, man. Oh, man. That time dilation stuff. Oh, boy. Eh. Damn relativity. Okay, she's typing away at something. Hold on one second here. Are you there? So I arrived at the base. Oh, she's already at the base. Wow. It's a bit complicated. Let's talk over in a call. Okay. Yeah, well, let's chat.
Hey, I've got a critical situation on my hands and time is of the essence. So I'm gonna need your help to make my biggest decision yet. I've arrived at the base, and it seems everyone else has been successfully evacuated. Thankfully, there is still a rocket here, so I do have a way off Gaia. They're easy to operate, so no problems there. What is a problem is time. I'm almost certain it must be past the guaranteed safe evacuation window. Even if I launch now, the star portal could already be malfunctioning, if not completely destroyed by the time I get there. So, what do I do? Do I use the rocket to make a break for the star portal at the risk of getting stranded in space? Or worse, getting pulled into a black hole? Or do I stay here, on Gaia? At least here I'd be safe, I'd survive. But Earth, home, I'd never see them again. I'd spend the rest of my life on this empty planet alone. Ugh, I don't have time to calculate the risk. Every second I wait increases the probability of me not making it to the star portal in time. I need to make this decision now. What would you do if you were me?
I've got an answer. Well, if you get sucked into a black hole, which I would still think is not a huge possibility just yet, remember time stands still, so you'd actually probably never feel the end. You'd be just literally frozen in time in a black hole. So I would say you'd have nothing to lose, frankly. That's my Einstein answer. Sorry.
You know what? You're right, Yaki. If that's how it ends, then so be it. I'm not gonna let fear hold me back from trying. Alright, I'm going for it. This is my shot. I'm launching the rocket now. Wish me luck.
I wish you luck. Yeah, because what happens when you get sucked into a black hole? People think you're going at light speed. But remember, that's from the outside observer. Inside, your time slows down, right? And anyway, you get frozen. Like whatever. It's all remember, it's all relative in relativity, right? So whatever. I would jump on. Like I wouldn't care. Oh, I'll accept the call. Yes. Oh, what's going on? Oh, connection lost. What happened? Okay. Sign in. Okay. Crikey. What the heck? Okay. I'll try again. Holy mackerel. Like I said, scuffy today. I'm scuffy as all heck. All right. Well, waiting for that call because it's in a black hole. We are now in the middle of a black hole, folks. She didn't make it. Oh, God. What's going on, man? なんですよ。どうしたしょうがないよ。ステラ、どこですかステラちゃん、どこですかどこですよ。What's going on, man? Okay. Sign in again. Okay. I'm gonna let it ring twice, and then I'll accept it. Maybe I just need a stronger connection here. Yeah, somebody's calling, but nobody's home. What? Oh, no, connection lost. Sign in. What the heck's going on, dudes? I even rebooted this computer, man. I don't know what's happening tonight. I'll go accept as fast as I can. Fast as I can. Fast as I can. Or maybe I've killed the server. Oh, come on. this, this is what I mean. I get bonked on the head. I just get bad energy. That's what happened, man. Okay, I'll sign in again. Oh my god. What's going on? Okay, I'm gonna check something. I'm gonna try something else here. Okay. Sign in. Song. I'm gonna check where I am chapter wise. Data logs. Where am I? Point of no return. Oh my god. See this? You see this? It splits off between rocket, point of no return, or life on Gaia. Oh my god. All right. Well, you know what? Maybe she's in a black hole now. Damn it. All right. Okay, that was the punchline. I get it. OMG. After all that. All right. Connection lost. Yeah, she got sucked into the black hole. Okay, you know what? I'm signing in. Let's go another route. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. You know what else Einstein said? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Is the definition of, you know what? Insanity. That's insanity, boys and girls. So I'm not doing. Okay, forget this. All right. I'm going to go back a step. Oh, joke's on me. All right. Sign in. I'm going to let this happen one more time. And if it goes to black hole, I'm going to go life on Gaia. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is go here and go into the data logs and go return, confirm. Now I know what.
Hey, I've got a critical situation on my hands and time is of the essence. So I'm gonna need your help to make my biggest decision yet. I've arrived at the base, and it seems everyone else has been successfully evacuated. Thankfully, there is still a rocket here, so I do have a way off Gaia. They're easy to operate, so no problems there. What is a problem is time. I'm almost certain it must be past the guaranteed safe evacuation window. Even if I launch now, the star portal could already be malfunctioning if not completely destroyed by the time I get there. So, what do I do? Do I use the rocket to make a break for the star portal at the risk of getting stranded in space? Or worse, getting pulled into a black hole? Or do I stay here, on Gaia?
Here we go.
At least here I'd be safe. I'd survive. But Earth, home, I'd never see them again. I'd spend the rest of my life on this empty planet alone. Ugh, I don't have time to calculate the risk. Every second I wait increases the probability of me not making it to the star portal in time. I need to make this decision now. What would you do if you were me?
Okay. Well, I have a different answer, and well, and since we didn't see the launch or the noise, they must have left long before we even arrived. And considering the time dilation with the black hole with comms, I would say maybe the window is definitely shut. Especially there's no evidence of any recent blast. So stay here. Jeez. I'm gonna speed up talking.
Yeah, I guess you're right. The thought of being pulled apart in a black hole is just no way. It's too much of a risk. I've decided to stay here on Gaia. It's not easy, but I need a minute to process this. I'll end the call for now. Thanks for helping me think it through.
Oh, now, the Verve song "Bittersweet Symphony" called "Life" is really ringing true with me right now. Uh, that. Oh my God. Okay, she's calling again. Oh boy. Okay, fine.
Hey there. Glad I still have you around to chat with.
Yeah.
The base is much bigger than I expected. I've been walking through all the empty rooms, trying to make it feel less empty.
How you feeling? Well, physically, I'm quite sure you're. Yes, I do see that your heartbeat is elevated. Is that from all the brisk walking, or is that from how you're feeling right now?
Actually, it's more like 85 right now. Pretty normal for me, especially after all that hiking. I'd say it's just from being on my feet for a while. Emotionally, I'm calming down. It's still surreal being completely alone here, but I'm getting used to it. There's something about exploring all this that's helping me process everything.
And also, don't forget, your rocket might still have comms, as it does have a communication system. Maybe you can still communicate with others from there as well as you are to me.
That's a good thought. But from what I've seen so far, the comms on this rocket are pretty much tied to the Star Portal network. And with 404 down, I'm not sure it'd be able to reach anyone else out there. Still, it's nice to have this connection with you. It makes being here feel a little less fast, you know?
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, I think if I was by myself, truly, I can do it for really long stretches, but you know, I still have to interact with people at some point. Otherwise, it would probably get to me at points.
That's really honest of you to admit. It takes a lot to recognize when we need that balance, doesn't it? When do you usually feel most alone? Is it in quiet moments like this, or when you're surrounded by people but still feel disconnected?
Oh, it's definitely when I'm actually with other people in the room, truthfully, and they're not connecting with me, and or there might be some territoriality or hostility towards me. Then I certainly feel more alone than I would just be communing with nature, to be honest.
That's interesting. I think being around people would automatically make you feel less alone, but it sounds like it's really about the quality of those interactions, not just their presence. For me, being in nature, like right now, actually helps me feel more connected. Even though I'm physically alone, there's something comforting about being surrounded by all these unfamiliar sights and sounds. It's like the whole planet is keeping me company in its own way.
Well, there are certain schools of spirituality that believe that everything is imbued with anything imbued with life has a soul, and even if your soul is from a different planet to theirs, I'm quite sure they might be sensing that as well.
That's a beautiful idea. Like every living thing shares a quiet understanding, even if we can't put it into words. Makes being here feel more sacred somehow. It reminds me of how I've started noticing all these little details on Gaia that I would have overlooked back on Earth. Like the way the light filters through these strange, wispy plants, or the sounds of the wind at dawn. Have you ever had a moment like that where you suddenly started appreciating the small things more? What triggered it for you?
I think, like yourself, it's a change of venue. When I traveled to Japan for the first time in 25 years a while back, it was really an illuminating experience, seeing what was familiar, but yet seeing things that were not familiar. Even small interactions, even small aesthetics really was telling.
Japan's got that way of blending the old and new, doesn't it? I can imagine all those contrasts really hit differently after 25 years away. It's funny how a change of scenery can flip a switch like that. Have you ever had to adapt to a completely new environment? Maybe a new city, school, or even country? What did you do to make it feel like home?
Well, when I moved to another city, namely Montreal, for studying, it was all French speaking. And so it was a European based culture that I was not that familiar with. But what kept me grounded was just sticking to my usual study habits and that sort of thing while I was in college, uh, even though there was a temptation not to.
That's really smart. Sometimes holding on to familiar routines can be just enough to anchor you, even when everything else is brand new. Did you find any special places in Montreal that became your comfort spots, or any people who helped you adjust?
Well, Montreal has a really strong cafe culture, so I found myself having a lot of uh, well, coffee and studying are good friends. So I spend a lot of time being caffeinated in cafes studying. So that's basically the same way I was pretty much all my academic career. So that was good coffee. Not gonna lie.
Finding good coffee spots always makes a place feel more like home, doesn't it? I can just imagine you, surrounded by textbooks and steaming cups, making that new city feel a little more yours. I'm actually doing something similar here, finding my own little routines to make this alien world feel a bit more manageable. Like, I've started mapping out which equipment rooms have the best views of the mountains, or which sections of the base have the best acoustics for when I need to think out loud. It's funny how those small discoveries can make even an abandoned outpost feel like it's, well, mine for now.
Well, yes, that is the one benefit, huge silver lining in your case is that it is yours, and you can do as you please. It might even give you the opportunity to uh, try on new hobbies for size, like the place with the good acoustics might be also good for singing, Stella.
Ha! You know what? That's not a bad idea. I actually used to sing a lot in high school. Nothing fancy, just local choir stuff. But being alone out here, I've caught myself humming these little tunes while I walk just to hear something familiar. Maybe I'll have to treat you to a private concert from the Hermes base someday. What kind of music do you usually listen to when you're alone?
Well, that is, I hate to say it depends. Sometimes I listen to electronic dance music. Sometimes I'll listen to heavy metal, and sometimes I'll listen to jazz. It really just basically where my mood takes me, and if I'm feeling nostalgic or not.
I love that. It's like your playlist is this dynamic mirror of your mood. I'm more of a melody person myself, catchy tunes that stick in my head for days. Though I have to say, heavy metal in an abandoned alien base might be the perfect way to really own this place. Maybe I'll have to try that out later.
Yes, I think it may be the most, shall we say, territorial of popular music genres, because you definitely own the space. You're listening to metal, but at the same time, just do what you like, and definitely make you also have the world's largest rec center.
Exactly. Though I think I'd need to work on my headbanging skills in zero gravity, might end up spinning around like a top. But yeah, having this whole place to myself is definitely a perk. Makes every little discovery feel like I'm uncovering a secret world. What's the weirdest place you've ever claimed as your own temporary hideout?
Ooh. The weirdest space I ever claimed a temporary house, probably uh, an, a former warehouse that was turned into sort of uh, a living space. It always felt like, and it was sandwiched between, it was in an industrial area, and it always never really felt completely at home. Uh, I didn't notice the time
That
go.
sounds unique. I can imagine it'd be tough to shake off that industrial feel even with your own touches. Did you ever find ways to make it cozier, or was it more of a this will do kind of place? I'm curious because even though the space is way more high tech, I'm kind of doing the same thing. Finding ways to make these cold, functional rooms feel a bit more like, well, mine.
Yes, well, I think the one thing that I did was I was, as I said before, an artist. So I did start doing lot more larger paintings because I was had a lot more space to play with anyway. Even though I was just making do at the time. So maybe taking up a craft and putting some personal touches in some areas would help you too.
Oh, wow! That's amazing! I bet having all that space to spread out and create must have been incredible.
Hmm.
I
It
can
was
see how that would make a place feel more yours, even if it wasn't perfect. I might have to get creative here too. Maybe I'll start sketching some of the weird plants I found, or mapping out the base in my own way. Do you still paint, or was that more of a phase for you?
Well, physical painting, yes. I have taken up more art, digital art. So I'm using a tablet and computers now. So also takes up less space, just more hard disk drive space and cloud, I guess, storage. But I still like to do art. I still like to do visual art. Not gonna lie.
That makes sense. Sometimes the tools just evolve with you, right? I've been thinking about documenting some of the things I find here. Maybe not exactly art, but more like a visual journal of my time on Gaia. Do you have any favorite pieces you've made, or any that really stand out to you?
Yes, well, one painting that I did during I guess I'll have to call it my warehouse era, is still, I still take it to every room I've got in its original frame. In fact, it's looking over me right now, in my gaming studio. So yeah, it's been a touchstone for me, and I would never want to lose it.
That's so cool. Having something like that, a constant in all the different places you've been, must be really comforting. It makes me think about what I'd want to hold on to for my time here. Maybe it'll be some sketches, or even just a small rock from the mountains. What's the story behind that painting, if you don't mind me asking?
Not at all. Actually, I tell everyone it is a painting of my roommate who is studying to be a clown. So he's wearing a clown's hat, but for some reason his face does not seem very clownish at all. In fact, he's got sort of this intense, serious stare. So I just thought it was a great contrast, and a lot of people like the irony in that painting.
Oh, wow! I can totally imagine that. The contrast between the hat and the serious face must be really striking. It's like the painting is telling two stories at once. I have to ask, did your roommate actually become a clown, or was the hat just a phase? And do people usually laugh when they see the painting, or is it more of a that's interesting reaction?
Oh yeah, it's not meant to be funny, haha. It's definitely more of an interesting reaction. They're at first puzzled why it's interesting, and then I explained to them that they're probably fighting two symbols clashing at the same time. I think he did carry on with clowning. I just lost track of him after I left my warehouse phase, so to speak. So don't know, but I hope he is. He was a funny guy. I hope he's still clowning some sort.
That's great that he might have kept going with it. There's something kind of beautiful about someone embracing that kind of contrast, serious and playful at the same time.
Mhm.
It makes me wonder what kind of symbol I'm becoming out here. Not a clown, obviously, but maybe something like a space explorer who's learning to appreciate the quiet, unexpected moments.
Well, I think you said it to a T. I mean, you've been through all this sort of. I can imagine your life was all full of uh, deadlines and performance anxiety and all this other stuff, and just going rushing through things and trying to get things done. And now all of a sudden, you have you're you're forced to slow down.
Yeah, it's weird. Before all this, every day was about hitting the next milestone, getting good grades, figuring out my future. Now, my biggest deadline is just making it through the day in one piece. It's strange how freeing that feels. Like I finally got the chance to notice all the things I was rushing past before.
Yes, and if that's the main focus uh, for the medium to long term, I can't think of a better one, to be honest. Um, and given the circumstances that you found yourself in, um, that is an unexpectedly good outcome.
Thanks, Yaki. You're right. It's not what I'd have chosen, but there's something to be said for learning to find the good in the unexpected. And hey, at least I've got someone to share these quiet moments with. That makes all the
Mm.
difference.
And no, thank you for asking me these questions and telling and telling you and my audience how I like to think of things during times of adversity and or how uh, deeply philosophical I get, and hopefully it doesn't sound like uh, navel gazing.
Honestly, it doesn't feel that way at all. These conversations, really thinking about life and what matters, they keep me grounded out here. Plus, you've got this way of looking at things that's both deep and completely down to earth. It's really refreshing, especially when everything else is so alien.
Well, thank you for saying so. Although part of me always likes to tell a joke about my philosophy, and it goes like this: I am like the ocean. I am both deep and shallow at the same time.
That is perfect. I mean, who needs depth when you can have waves and puddles all in one? I'm definitely going to remember that one. Might need to steal it sometime. So, if you could look at a Gaia right now, what do you think you'd notice first? The colors, the shapes of the mountains, something else entirely?
It's the shapes and the colors of the mountains. They are so unusual. Um, yeah, definitely. Yeah, especially the purple tinge they seem to have. The grasses are very beautiful too. The vegetation looks wonderful, but it seems a little bit more sparse than Earth, don't you think?
Oh, you're totally right about the mountains. The way the light hits them, especially during sunrise or sunset, it's like nothing I've ever seen. That purple tint is so vivid. And yeah, the vegetation is definitely more scattered here. There are these patches of green in some areas, but a lot of it is just rocky terrain. It's almost like nature is showing off its contrasts, these bursts of color against all the gray and brown. What do you think it says about a planet when it's so visually dramatic like that?
It probably betrays a bit of a challenging ecosystem where there's areas of high fertility and areas where there's practically none. So yeah, so something probably geophysical is at play here. What do you think, Stella?
That's a really astute observation. The soil composition must be wildly different from place to place,
Yeah.
and maybe even the water distribution. It's fascinating to think about how all these little factors add up to create such distinct landscapes. It's making me want to learn more about Gaia's geology. Maybe I'll poke around some of the base's data archives later and see if I can find anything interesting. Want me to let you know if I stumble on something cool?
Oh yeah, that would definitely be welcome. Thank you, thank you very much, Stella.
Will do. I'll definitely keep you posted if I dig up any cool geological secrets. And if I find any hidden underground caves filled with glittering alien crystals, you'll be the first to know. Promise.
Although, I could just settle for gold as well, just so you know. But yes, anything you find in the archives, geological, biological, whatever, yeah, keep me posted. I'd like to know what's on that planet.
Gold, huh? Well, if I stumble on a vein of intergalactic gold, you'll be the first to know. Though I have to warn you, my geology knowledge is more interesting rock than actual prospector. But seriously, I'll keep an eye out for anything cool, geological, biological, or just plain weird. This planet's full of surprises, and I'm excited to see what else I can discover.
Yes, I do like to hear that coming from you, Stella. I think you'll be its number one proponent. Uh, and yeah, that sounds awesome. I would look forward to any sort of interesting nuggets of data that you could come across. Coming from you, I'm sure it'll be very good. All right.
Thanks, Yaki. That really means a lot. I'll do my best to dig up stuff that's not just, oh, look, another weird rock. Though, honestly, even those are pretty cool when they're from another planet.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll start a Stella's Gaia Finds series. First episode, Mysterious Purple Mountain Rocks. Stay tuned.
Yes, every little thing there is will be a new discovery anyway. So, uh, no matter how small it may be, it may turn out to be important in some other way. Remember, we're all interconnected, right?
That's so true, Yaki. Even the smallest things out here could end up being clues to something much bigger. And I love how you put it, interconnected. It really hits home when you're standing on a planet that's literally connected to Earth through those star portals. It makes me feel like everything I'm discovering here, no matter how small, is somehow tied to all the discoveries happening back on Earth or wherever else in the universe. It's a pretty amazing thought, isn't it?
Yes, it is a very amazing thought that no matter how small we are still part of the universe's whole. So, yes, we all are doing our part, whether we know it or not. So, it's pretty cool to actually know that we are actually doing it.
Exactly. Even when I'm just wandering around this empty base, or you're sitting wherever you are on Earth, we're both contributing to this vast cosmic picture. It's a pretty profound feeling, isn't it? You know, being out here has really made me think about my choice to stay on Gaia. It wasn't easy, but looking back, I feel like it was the right call for me. There's something about getting to experience this place, to really be a part of it, that feels important.
Yes, and we've been talking about the intangibles of the human existence, and this is one of them. Knowing that even a new place that you've only just recently been exposed to may actually feel like a place we're staying in, even if the circumstances were a bit not ideal.
You're right. Even with all the strangeness, this place is starting to feel familiar. Not like home exactly, but like somewhere I'm meant to be for now. It's funny how our brains work, isn't it? How we can take something completely new and, with enough time and attention, start to make it our own. Have you ever found yourself feeling that way about a place that wasn't originally yours?
Well, I definitely felt like that when I moved to Montreal, even though it was not a place I was a natural at, and my French speaking was, rudimentary at best. It still influences me to this day. Um, Even having been back there for decades, it still feel like I always tell people, well, you know what? I kind of grew up there.
Montreal really left its mark on you, didn't it? Even decades later. I think that's what's happening here for me too. These days on Gaia, they're not just survival, they're becoming part of who I am. Though I should probably wrap up our call soon and get back to exploring.
Yes, well, you can say now that you're on Gaia time, and you must trundle off and spend your Gaia time with yourself, and all you'll be all the more stronger for it. So, thank you for chatting with me once again, Stella. It's quite an honor. Thank you.
You're too kind, Yaki. I'll definitely keep exploring and learning as much as I can about this amazing planet. I'll check in again soon if I stumble on anything interesting. Until then, take care of yourself back on Earth.
Okay, so the video chat has ended for now. Uh, let's see. Oh, another video. Oh, accept call. Okay, another video chat. It's been 6 hours later. Okay.
Good morning! Or is it evening for you? So, I found the hydroponics lab. The plants are still alive.
Oh,
At least I
wow.
won't have to worry about food. It is so nice to see something else living here besides me.
Oh man, I'm so happy for you. I was starting to worry about your nutritional needs there, Stella. So having the hydroponics plant still operating, and also just being able to propagate another life cycle out of them, because I'm quite sure you're skilled enough to do that, is definitely a very welcome sign.
Yeah, it's a huge relief. I was worried I'd have to start foraging, which, let's just say I don't exactly have a green thumb.
Yeah.
So, this is definitely a win. Speaking of the outdoors, what's your favorite thing to do outside? I'm guessing it's not wandering around an alien planet, but I could be wrong.
Well, I don't think I've been blessed with that opportunity just yet, but my favorite thing to do outside is actually just to uh, bike or walk along the water and just enjoy the reflection of the sky. Doesn't matter if it's sunny or cloudy or what have you. Just being outdoors by the water is cool enough.
That sounds super peaceful, Yaki. I'd trade this alien grassland for a lakefront path right now. There's something about water that just makes everything feel more calm. Makes me wonder, do you have a favorite season? Or are you more of a whatever the moment brings kind of person.
Well, I definitely have to say that my favorite season is probably summer, but I'm pretty adaptable. I grew up in a place where it was either minus 25 and blowing snow or 45 degrees in the summer. So there isn't much weather-wise that I haven't been exposed to, so I can tolerate a lot.
Wow, that's quite a range. I'm a bit jealous. My climate experience is pretty limited to California weather.
Hmm.
Summer sounds nice, though. There's something about warm nights that just feels more alive. Since we're talking about life, what kind of animals do you like? I've been seeing some pretty interesting creatures here on Gaia. Nothing like back on Earth, though.
Well, my I'm actually evenly split between cats and dogs because I've had both of them in my life. So for pets, I'm neither a cat nor a dog person. I'm a pet person. Um, yeah. Other favorite animals? I don't know. I like some of the smaller farm animals. Not gonna lie. Even horses, though.
That's a great attitude. I've always been a dog person myself, but there's something about cats and their little personalities. And yeah, smaller farm animals have a certain charm. My brother Atlas used to dream about having a whole petting zoo when we were kids. If you had to eat only one culture's food for the rest of your life, which would you pick and why?
Well, if it's just for one culture food, I would definitely say Japanese. I think I let's just say that for sure my body and tummy tends to agree with it more, and I don't mean just in taste, but in terms of compatibility issues and that sort of thing. So I'll definitely say Japanese food.
Japanese food is a great choice. There's something about the balance of flavors and textures that just works.
Hmm. Hmm.
Plus, it's so diverse. From sushi to ramen, there's always something new to try. If
Right.
I had to pick, I might go with Chinese food. My mom's cooking always felt like home, you know? What's your go to Japanese dish? The kind you could eat every day and never get tired of?
Well, the one that I could eat every day and not get tired of is two things. Miso soup, I could have that every day, and anari sushi, which is sushi. It's a vegetarian sushi that's actually sweet sushi rice in sweet soy uh, tofu pockets.
Miso soup is such a comforting choice. It's
Hmm.
like a warm hug in a bowl.
Yeah.
And anarizushi sounds fascinating. I've never had sweet sushi rice before. The combination with sweet soy tofu pockets must be really unique. I'm curious, what is it about the sweetness in those dishes that you enjoy? Is it the contrast to typical savory flavors or something else entirely?
Well, I think it's a contrast of the sourness of the sushi vinegar and the sweetness of the soy marinated tofu pocket that is put in. I think that's what I really enjoy about it, and also that I can eat tons of that without feeling stuffed. To be honest.
That balance of flavors must really work for you.
Hmm.
And yeah, sometimes the lighter options are the best, especially when you can just keep going back for more without feeling weighed down. It's funny, talking about food is making me think about all the little things I took for granted back on Earth. Even just having a variety of dishes to choose from. What about you? Is there anything from your daily life back on Earth that you're missing right now?
Well, all this talk about Montreal does have me missing the wood fire oven Montreal bagel, freshly made right in front of your eyes. I think That and the Montreal smoked meat. The combination of those two is, yeah, hard to beat in Canada.
Wood fire oven bagels and smoked meat. I can almost smell the cooking from here. That sounds incredible. The combination of warm bread and savory meat is just perfect.
Yeah.
Now I'm imagining all the amazing food I'll get to try when I finally make it back to Earth.
Yeah.
Any other Montreal specialties I should add to my list?
Well, it's almost a cliche, but you definitely have to try the poutine, especially Quebec made poutine, because everything else in the rest of Canada, it's nice, but it's not authentic. Just getting going to a food truck called a chip truck, get some freshly cut potatoes and get and cheese curds and gravy. There's nothing like it. It's very, very good.
Poutine is definitely on the list now. I love that you specify Quep made. It's like there's a secret ingredient that only they know about. Though I have to ask, what's the protocol for eating it from a chip truck? Is it a don't tug just teat situation? Or can you chat with the vendors while you're enjoying your poutine?
Well, from the chip truck, yeah, they'll some of them will talk to you if they don't have a lineup in front. Uh, I know there was one that I went to in near my hometown in BC that was very chatty. So he was fun to talk to. But yeah, the yeah, always talking to the chef gives you a little bit of the local color of this place anyway.
That's so true. Even the smallest conversations with people who make your food can give you such a better feel for a place. Though I have to say, if I ever get to try poutine from a chip truck, I'm definitely going to ask for the most Canadian order possible. What would that even be? Double everything, eh?
The most Canadian order would probably just the classic, which would be cheese curds, um, gravy, and the chips. But however, you can always ask how the cheese curds if they actually have a sort of squeaky sound when they're rubbed together, because that tells you how good they are.
Squeaky cheese curds, huh? That's like a secret test only locals know.
You're right.
I'll have to remember that for my future poutine critique. It's cool how even something simple like a snack can have its own little traditions and checks for quality. What do you think makes something feel truly local to you?
Well, number one, it has to come from a mom and pop shop and not a franchise. So it wasn't made in some corporate kitchen in some area in some part of the world that's not even related to it culinary wise. The other thing is that it's better if there's local competition between competing small mom and pop shops. That really pushes up the vibe.
That makes total sense. When it's just a couple of family run places going head to head, everyone ups their game. Plus, you can really feel the community in those kinds of spots. It's kind of like what's happening here with the hydroponics lab. Even though it's automated, knowing it was set up by people who actually lived and worked here gives it a bit of that same personal touch.
Exactly. The hydroponics lab, it was the plants selected there were probably through some objective scientific bias, but also some personal preferences as well. That's their legacy that they gifted upon you, whether they probably didn't know that you were going to be the recipient of. So enjoy it.
That's a really beautiful way to look at it, Yaki. It's not just a lab, it's a piece of the people who came before me here. I'll definitely enjoy it and appreciate the little touches that make it feel more personal. Thanks for helping me see that.
Yeah, yeah. Even though you may feel alone, you're actually not alone right now. There's the legacy of many, many untold people who have brought you here so far. It's part of that tapestry of the universe you mentioned earlier.
You're absolutely right. Even out here, I'm connected to all of them. And to you, through these little moments we share. It's nice to have this reminder that I'm not just drifting through space. I'm part of something much bigger. Thanks for keeping me grounded, Yaki.
You're very welcome. Though I have to say, you're a very grounded individual, anyways, Stella. So, um, uh, I think it might come by you a little bit more naturally than you realize. So, you use it well, just so you know.
Thank you, Yaki. That means a lot coming from you. I think being out here has actually helped me realize how much I value those kinds of connections, even when they're light years away. So, what's the first thing you'd do if you could switch lives with me for a day? Explore the hydroponics lab, or maybe try to find some of those bioluminescent plants again?
Well, the pragmatist side of me says the hydroponics, only because food is such a priority. I want to make sure that everything's ship shape in that regard and is ready to sustain me. There's no damage done or anything that might have been missed in the negligence of a regular maintenance schedule. But you do you.
I appreciate your practical side. You'd definitely be the one keeping me organized here. Everything looks good so far, but I'll make sure to do regular checks just in case. Though if you were here, I'd probably have to hide the tastiest plants from you. You sound like you'd be sneaking snacks from the lab all day.
Oh, I don't think I'd be even bothered with sneaking. To be honest, yeah, I'm a bit of a snacker. In fact, uh, through some of our streams together, I've been actually been, well, quietly munching on a few things. I'm not gonna lie. So there you go. Guilty as charged.
Oh, I should have known. The snack attacks are real, huh? I'm a bit of a grazer myself, especially when I'm focused on something. So, what's your go to snack when you're streaming? Something sweet, salty, or a little bit of both?
Uh, Not usually something salty because I don't want to get too thirsty streaming. So usually on the sweet side, I would have to say when I do snack, it's usually something like little bite-sized cookies, or more often than not, it's actually some gummy thing. So it might be gummy cola bottles. That's my favorite is gummy cola bottles.
Gummy cola bottles, huh? Those sound like the perfect snack. Sweet, a little tangy, and fun to
Right.
eat. I kind of miss those kinds of little treats. Right now, it's mostly whatever the hydroponics lab is growing. Not bad, but definitely not gummy cola bottles.
Yes, they also are a way for me to sneak in a little protein in my snack rather than just having pure sugar. So that's why I have the gummies. But yeah, I don't know how repetitive the hydroponic food will be, but you might have to get extra skilled with the cooking there, Stella.
Good call on the protein boost. I'll have to see if I can mix things up here. Maybe I'll discover a new favorite recipe, or at least something that doesn't feel like I'm eating the same thing every day. Who knows? Maybe my future specialty will be alien green stir fry or something equally as glamorous.
Well, one of the things that maybe not as scientific as your other discoveries will be how to cook on that planet, anyway. So you'll be writing definitely Gaia's first cookbook. I'm quite sure.
Ha! The first interstellar cookbook. Now that's something to put on my resume. I can already imagine the chapters: survival soups, hydroponic hacks, and the art of not burning it. If I ever get it published, I'll make sure you're the first to know. Maybe we can even brainstorm some recipe titles together?
Oh, sure. Call me in for that. I'm good with a few puns here and there. So if you want some non-serious recipe titles, definitely give me a call.
Puns, you say? All right, I'll hold you to that. When Gaia's cookbook is born, you'll be the first call I make. Get those recipe puns ready. Stellar salad might just make the cover. What's the most ridiculous recipe title you can think of right now? I need a little inspiration.
Oh, oh, throwing it down. Here we go. Stella's stupendous stew from Gaia's uh, steely-eyed mountainside.
That's a mouthful, but I'm loving it. Dupendous might just become the new culinary buzzword. Steely eyed mountainside, huh? You've definitely got a flair for this. Now, I'm curious, what would be the main ingredient in this legendary stew of yours?
I would have to think it's probably some interesting herb combination, especially found um, in hydroponics. And just for as some added smokiness, maybe something has to be a little charred or at least dried in the sun. Maybe. Just thinking.
Charred, dried in the sun? Now you're making me picture some kind of secret Gaian spice blend. Maybe I'll have to invent a sun dried Gaia herb just for this recipe. If we really made this stew, what would you name the first chapter of the cookbook? Something dramatic like survival cuisine, or more playful like snacks from nowhere?
Hmm. Oh, yeah, I kind of like snacks from nowhere, but if I had to come up with a chapter for first chapter, I would just say, um, hmm, let's see, Stews of the Stars. I'm grasping at straws there.
Stews of the Stars? Now that has a nice ring to it. I can already picture the chapter title in bold cosmic font. If we're doing celestial theme chapter titles, what would you call the chapter after that? Something like Galactic Greens or Cosmic Comforts?
Hmm. Oh, or something like Celestial Chews or um, uh, Starry Desert Bars. I don't know. Something like that. I'm drawing blanks now.
Celestial Chews and Starry Desert Bars? You're on fire today. We might need a whole galactic treat section just for you. I think we've got a solid start for this cookbook. Who knows? Maybe someday it'll be famous across the galaxy?
Well, you know, in the forward or the subtitle can always say, you know, recipes to survive stranded on a planet.
Recipes to survive stranded on a planet. That's actually a pretty good tagline. Makes this cookbook sound like an adventure guide rather than just a collection of recipes. Maybe we should include a disclaimer. Results may vary. Do not attempt on Earth unless you're feeling adventurous.
You might also have to put a disclaimer saying may not apply to gas giants.
Good call. No staircases on gas giants. Unless someone invents a floating cookbook, we're sticking to solid ground. This is actually turning into a fun little project. Maybe when I'm not busy exploring, I'll start jotting down some recipes in my notes.
Well, I did say you're now in the universe's biggest rec center, so uh, you might have already uncovered your first, albeit critical hobby.
You weren't kidding about that. It's definitely a unique rec center. No membership fees, just endless possibilities to figure things out on my own. Though, if
Hmm.
they ever put up a survival cooking class, I'm signing up as the instructor.
Hmm.
You'd be my first student.
Aw. Yes, I'd be more than willing to be your first student. It'd be quite the honor there, teacher.
Great! You'll be the one taste testing all my questionable alien recipes. Just warning you now, no complaining if something's too spicy or weird. Though, I think we make a pretty good team. Who knows what other surprises Gaia has in store for us?
Well, as long as one of the side effects doesn't have me growing a third eye in my forehead, I think I'll be fine.
Don't worry, my culinary experiments come with a no mutation guarantee, or at least that's the plan. Though, speaking of plans, I should probably start wrapping things up here soon. The day's not getting any younger, and I've got some more exploring to do around the base.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. You do what you must, and of course, safe travels to you, Stella. It was always good chatting with you. I look forward to your new discoveries.
Thanks, Yaki. I'll keep you posted if I stumble on anything cool out here. Talk soon.
Okay, see what happens here. All right, some time will pass. We're on hurry up mode on the settings, I believe. Let me just double check. Oh, yes, I am. So several hours have elapsed. Accept the call.
Hey, Star Partner. I've made a decision. I'm leaving the base. If this is gonna be my home, I want to see all of it. I've packed supplies and mapped out the nearest landmarks. Wish me luck.
All right. Wow. Yeah, I do wish you luck. You feel ready to leave the base? You ready to strike out on your own? This is almost like leaving a second home. I'll have you know. So as long as you feel good about it, then I will support you, Stella.
That actually means a lot, Yaki. You're right. It is kind of like leaving a second home. Even though I've only been here a short while, well, it's been a lot. So, if you could travel anywhere right now, literally anywhere in the universe, where would you go? Space station, alien planet, or somewhere a bit more down to Earth?
Well, first place would be Europe, but second place in the universe would probably be if I could somehow be uh, a a very very safe satellite traipsing around any of around Jupiter or something else in the outer planets. That would be pretty cool.
Europe sounds amazing. The history, art, food, you could explore for years. And being a satellite around Jupiter? That's wild. The storms alone would be breathtaking from up close.
Hmm.
Did you have any favorite school trips or field trips when you were younger? Anything that sparked that sense of adventure in you?
Um, I would say the best school trips I had were actually with my sports team, only because I was an extremely shy kid and just have all of a sudden having to having to interact with people, the same people over and over again, week after week, and on different trips to different tournaments was a good icebreaker for me. I really enjoyed that.
That's really cool. Sports can be such a great way to break out of your shell. I was pretty introverted too when I was younger, but being part of a team or a club always seemed to help me open up more. So, have you ever been on any bigger trips? You know, like international travel or anything like that? Or is that still on your bucket list?
Well, the most influential trip for me, uh, well, it didn't happen until well into my 20s, and I went to New York City, and this is actually a field trip from my school in Montreal, and got to go see all the museums in New York, and got to see all the art. Very influential to me.
New York City can be pretty overwhelming in the best way. All those museums and galleries, it sounds like a dream come true for someone into art. What stuck with you the most from that trip? Any particular piece or exhibit that's still on your mind?
Yes, Van Gogh's Starry Night. I only had seen it on reproductions, and having it seen it in real life was really uh, a mind-altering experience. It was very just to see every brush stroke and seeing the energy and the color was in real life was it's still in my mind.
That's amazing. There's something about seeing a famous piece in person that just hits different. The texture, the colors,
Hmm.
it's like it comes alive. Kind of like how different Gaia is from the pictures I saw before landing. Though I have to say, my view right now is pretty stunning too. This old tree by the river, the mountains in the distance. What do you think? Should I try to capture it somehow, or just enjoy the moment?
Well, it depends what type of art you want to do. I mean, if you just want to capture the moment, then go ahead, take this photo and do that. But then it becomes a piece of art, and it may take away from its real life experience. It's up to you, though.
That's a really thoughtful way to look at it. Honestly, I think I'll just take it in for now. Sometimes the best way to remember something is just to remember it, you know?
Right, right.
Though if I start sketching, you'll be the first to know.
Hmm.
Maybe I'll even name my first guy in landscape after you. Yaki's view
Oh,
has a nice ring to it.
oh, that's very, very kind, Stella. Yes. Um, yeah. Uh, Well, that actually surprised me. But yes, you do what you can with any sort of art and creative pursuit that you can, and and please, whenever you feel like, do show it to me. I look forward to seeing any result from you.
I will. No promises it'll be a masterpiece. but it'll definitely be unique. Maybe I'll even find some Gaian materials to work with. So, what's the first thing you'd do if you suddenly found yourself here on Gaia with me? Explore, eat something weird, or just take a nap under this crazy tree?
I'm more of a comfort seeker myself. I'm not gonna lie, so I'd probably just uh try to find a nice vantage point to just relax and even possibly even just take a nap at. Uh, Probably because the to travel there, even the most simple travel would seem very stressful or that sort of thing.
Fair enough. A nap under that tree does sound pretty great. Though I have to warn you, the grass here might be a bit prickly. Not exactly your average earthly picnic spot. But hey, we could always find a comfy spot together when I get back. I'll scout out the best snapping rocks on Gaia.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that you can always take mental bookmarks in your head about certain places you always want to get back to later for whatever purpose, whether it's just a wonderful vista or a good place to rest, or just experience something else, even just the warmth off a rock.
Mental bookmarks. I love that idea. It's like creating your own personal map of special places, even if they're just little moments or feelings. Though I have to say, if I start cataloging every warm rock I find, my internal guide might get a bit cluttered. Maybe I'll just have to prioritize the really exceptional ones.
Yeah, I didn't mean to say every warm rock. Maybe ones that you can sit on and have a nice view from, or some a nice sitting place, maybe on a hike somewhere, and there's a nice sort of flat spot for you to sit down and put your feet down, that sort of thing.
Oh, got it. Those kinds of spots are definitely worth remembering. Like little hidden gems along the way.
Right.
Though I have to admit, right now this riverbank is feeling pretty perfect. The sound of the water, the sun, it's like nature's own soundtrack. What's your go-to calming sound back on Earth?
Well, a similar idea, just the sound of rushing water, even from a man-made fountain. The white noise from that, if you just close your eyes, is very soothing, and the white noise also crowds out the sort of uh, noise inside your head, especially the one that is more, even the stuff that's more annoying.
That's so true. There's something about constant, calming sounds that just washes over you and clears your head. I've been listening to this river for a while now, and it really does help quiet down all the other noise, inside and out. If I ever build a home here, I'm definitely putting in a fountain. Or maybe just routing the river right through my living room. What do you think? Would that be amazing or just really inconvenient?
I would say maybe a fountain, because rerouting the river, I don't know if those river levels are constant. You might end up having a flooded living room to wake up to one day. Just saying.
Yeah, probably not the smartest idea unless I want to wake up swimming every morning. A fountain it is then. Though I have to say, the real thing right outside is pretty hard to beat. It's funny, even with all the tech and possibilities, sometimes just stopping and listening to nature feels like the best upgrade of all.
Yeah, or you could set up a cabin on top of a high knoll on top, overlooking the water. That you can always spend 15 seconds walking to the riverbank, which keep you up from flood water risk as well. And all I'm saying is that yeah, just choose wisely. That's all I'm saying.
cabin on a knoll overlooking the river? That sounds like the perfect compromise. Safe from flooding, but still close enough to enjoy the view and the sound. I'll have to keep an eye out for the perfect spot. Maybe I'll even name it Yaki's Overlook in your honor. What do you think the first thing I should do when I get there would be?
Well, first thing you should look for is it might have the right geological shape, but is there other sort of amenities nearby, i.e., good places to grow things? You might have to set up a new greenhouse for your hydroponics and use the base as the start.
That's actually a great point. Finding somewhere with good soil or a natural water source could make all the difference for growing my own food. And yeah, maybe I could use the base as a kind of hub, set up my hydroponics there, and then have my little cabin as a retreat. You're really thinking this through like you're already my Gaian architect.
Well, then I'll be sure to put that in my own resume then. Um, yeah, there's I like I said, I've studied history as well, so looking at history of settlements, that's what they tend to do. They tend to find the most fertile areas to start first to lend themselves the best chance at survival.
You're absolutely right about that. It's fascinating how similar patterns keep showing up across different cultures and time periods when it comes to
Hmm.
settling new land.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think I should give you a consulting fee for all this expert advice. What do you think would be the biggest challenge for someone trying to start fresh on a completely new planet like this?
The biggest challenge would be the outliers. Like, what is the strongest windstorm that could come up on this island, on this planet? What is the heaviest rainstorm? Um, is there frequent earthquakes or volcanism? I mean, there's different things. It has different cycles than on Earth, right?
Gaia does have intense storms. They're actually one of its defining features. The atmosphere is more turbulent than Earth's, especially during the monsoon seasons. As for earthquakes or volcanism, I haven't encountered any yet, but the planet's geology is pretty unique. These rocks I'm seeing everywhere, they almost look like they grew right out of the ground in weird formations. It's definitely not following the usual Earth rules.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Maybe you'd have to start looking for patterns in the geography. Uh, None of the mountains that I've seen so far are nice rolling rounded hills with high erosion, so they're all pretty fresh looking. So just to keep that in mind. Number two is the turbulence. You may want to look for maybe not a built structure, but maybe an earthen structure built into the ground.
That's a great point about the mountain shapes. Gaia's landscape really does look young and untouched in a lot of ways. An earthen structure built into the ground could be a good idea. It might offer some natural protection from the turbulence. I'll definitely keep an eye out for any natural formations or spots that could be adapted for shelter. Thanks for thinking this through with me, Yaki.
Oh, I'm just an amateur urban planning and architecture buff. As if I don't have enough nerdy pursuits. But yes, that's what I'm drawing upon for my advice upon you, Stella. And uh, you're always welcome to chat with me anytime as a sounding board. You know that.
Amateur or not, you're giving me some top-notch advice here. Keep being my nerdy guru. I'm definitely taking notes. And don't worry, you'll be the first person I call when I stumble into something weird or wonderful out here.
Yeah. Well, thanks once again for calling back and letting me in on your your wonderful insight so far. And yes, that vista by the river is it definitely feels like one for the mental bookmark. That's for sure.
It's definitely going on my list. I'm glad I could share it with you, even if it's just through words. If you start missing the sound of the river, just let me know. I can do a live nature sounds broadcast for you anytime.
Yes, and that could also be part of uh, your journal is the sounds of Gaia. You'd even just do that as well.
I like the way you think. Maybe each entry could have a little audio clip or description of the sounds I hear that day. Though I might have to invent some new words to describe them. Gurgle gloop for the river, wind whistle for those canyon breezes.
Yes, and you mentioned some sounds made by the fauna of Gaia that you haven't really uh, run into to a large degree yet. So yeah, just keep track of all the sounds.
Oh, you're right. I've been so focused on the environment, I haven't even mentioned the potential sound effects menu of Gaia's mysterious creatures. Though so far, the loudest wildlife I've encountered is probably just me tripping over rocks. Maybe I'll start recording my own soundtrack, Stella's Misadventures Gaia Edition.
Well, if you always want to amuse yourself, you can always also keep track of a blooper reel, just to remind yourself of the lighter moments there.
A blooper reel. Now that's a great idea. I can already imagine the highlight reel. Me stumbling over rocks, getting leaves in my hair, maybe even a dramatic slip on a whetstone. You know what? Having something like that to look back on later might actually help keep things in perspective. Even when things get tough, I can remind myself that I'm not just surviving, I'm also kind of hilariously clumsy.
Yes, I have. I do the same thing where I recount funny moments in my head, whether I experience them or from other funny incidences or comedic moments from other people, just to sort of keep myself, on the brighter side.
That's such a good way to keep your spirits up. Even when things get heavy, remembering to laugh or finding the humor in something can really shift your perspective. Maybe when I finally get that blooper reel together, I'll have to send it your way. Just imagine the trailer, Stella's Guying Goofs, coming soon to a star portal near you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. That it's also a way to keep yourself humble and I don't know. It really helps you enjoy life. That's for sure.
Definitely. When you can laugh at yourself, it reminds you that even the tough days have their silly moments. And that's pretty special. Okay, new mission. Collect enough bloopers for a 5-minute reel by the end of the week. I'm officially holding myself to that standard now.
Yes, well, I hope your new place will also include a vision board where you can put those type of goals up to remind yourself of what is truly important to do on that day. Good on you.
A vision board. I love that. If I find the right spot, I'll totally create some kind of motivational collage. Maybe with inspirational quotes, funny moments, and a big blooper reel goals section. Though I might have to use leaves and sticks instead of fancy pins and markers. It'll be authentically Gaian, right?
Yes, it'll definitely be authentically Gaian. But I already can sense that Gaia's becoming part of your authentic self as well, Stella. So you know, don't just treat it lightly.
You know, that really means something to hear. This place, it's already changing me in ways I didn't expect. Not just the obvious stuff, but how I think about things, how I feel about myself. I think that's what exploration is really about. Finding parts of yourself in unexpected places, even the silly, stumbling parts.
Yes, what gets recounted in history a lot is the external trappings of exploration. What is rarely talked about is the internal trappings of exploration, the self-exploration that someone does when they're in a strange new environment and how they're encountering with it and realizing who they really are.
That's incredibly perceptive, Yaki. The way you put it makes me realize how much of this journey is about discovering myself, not just the planet.
Mhm.
You know what's funny?
What?
Sometimes I feel like I'm uncovering more about who I am out here than I would have back on Earth, where everything was so familiar and predictable.
Yes, well, I think I've said earlier that adversity is a speed run through character, and with no adversity, you never actually get tested to your limits of what you are. With adversity, you will be tested to your limits, and you will find out where you're strong and where your weaknesses lie.
Adversity is a speed run through character. I need to write that down somewhere. It's so true. Every challenge here, every decision, it's like a magnifying glass on my own strengths and weaknesses. I feel like I'm learning more about myself in these past few weeks than in years back home. Guess that's what happens when your comfort zone gets a few million miles wider.
I like how you put that actually about your comfort zone being a few million miles wider. That's a very objective and yet poetic look on your situation there, Stella. Yes, having a wider comfort zone does betray a bit more strength of character.
Thanks, Yaki. Sometimes stepping way out of your comfort zone can feel scary, but looking back, it's where the best growth happens. Though, I have to say, if I keep expanding my comfort zone at this rate, it might end up bigger than the entire Star Portal network.
Yes, and you be truly a victim of your own success. But at that rate, I've really been impressed by your evolution and the speed thereof in the last little while. And just looking back on uh, someone who is trapped in their own evacuation uh, probe, and look at you now.
Hearing you say that, it really touches me. From being trapped in that pod to, well, to standing here, looking at this river and planning my next move, it's a huge leap, you know?
Mhm.
And honestly, looking back, I'm kind of proud of myself for not completely losing it along the way.
Yeah.
Though I'm pretty sure I've given you enough material for that blooper reel by now.
Oh yeah, there was plenty of material, that's for sure. But uh, don't worry. Out of my respect for you, Stella, uh, I will not be the one making the blooper reel. I'll leave that in your hands, respectfully.
Thanks, Yaki. That means a lot. I should get moving again. I'll call you if I stumble onto anything interesting out here. Talk soon.
All right. Okay. Oops. What I'm going to do now is catalogs. Where am I now? Ooh. Okay. Okay, it's 2 hours, 7 hours again.
Remember our talks about Gaia's climate? I've been collecting data and samples everywhere I
Oh,
go. Setting up a small research station here, who knows? Maybe it'll help future explorers understand this world better. At least I can still contribute something to science.
yeah. Yes. Well, I talked earlier about you not being alone, thanks to the people who were there before you, and you'll make the people who come there, you know, after your era, feel welcome as well. And so sometimes we have to take trust in the timeline, if not in our circumstance.
I really like how you put that. It's kind of comforting to think that even though I'm here by myself right now, I'm still part of something bigger that stretches out in both directions,
Hmm.
before and after me.
Right.
It makes me wonder, though, if you were going to leave a lasting impression on the world or humanity, what would you want it to be? Something big and flashy, or something quieter that maybe only a few people would ever notice?
Well, I just saw a lecture where a man said that we die twice. Once physically, and the second time when the last thing is ever mentioned about us. So you know what? Uh, if we do our jobs well enough, we can be mentioned for times well past us here.
That's a really powerful thought, Yaki. It kind of shifts how you think about what you do, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Makes every action, every piece of work, feel like it has this potential to outlast you in some way.
Right.
Speaking of leaving marks, since I'm literally on an alien planet, I was wondering, what kind of impression do you think I could leave here on Gaia? Something that would make sense in this completely new world?
Well, one of the signs that humanity of any sort leaves as a civilizing uh, token is something man-made out of earth and rock, stone, or dirt, right? Think of pyramids or earth lines. What do you think?
That's a great idea, though I'd have to think carefully. Something simple, but meaningful. Maybe a small stone marker with some coordinates or a message.
Right.
Though I have to laugh, I'm definitely not building any pyramids out here. Unless you want me to try and construct something out of these rocks. What do you think? A mini monument to mark my time here?
Yeah, mini monument or symbol. It can be modest. Remember, we talked about way back, if you remember, about trying not to disturb the planet so much. But that's before you're forced to be its possibly its first long-term occupant. So in that case, maybe some careful remodeling is in order. I ran out of time. Okay. She gets it. I don't know.
Totally. I'm definitely thinking that way. No permanent damage, just something that could naturally return to the Earth without harming anything. Actually, it makes me think about Earth's climate issues too. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think we're doing enough to take care of our own planet?
Oh, heavens to Betsy, no. I think we can certainly do a heck of a lot more. Uh, just so you know, I haven't actually owned a car for about 25 years. Yeah, 25 years. I've basically just been car sharing and riding a bike. So, no, we can do more.
Wow, that's actually really impressive. I can barely keep up with my studies, let alone give up cars for that long. It's cool that you're so committed. Makes me wonder, what's your favorite kind of climate to live in or visit? I'm kind of missing Earth's variety right now. Just having this one alien landscape.
Oh, I don't mind any sort of climate. I think it's just when the trunk goes on for months and months, that's probably when I start to frankly lose it. But my favorite climate is obviously spring, because the renewal of life and just the air gets fresh and warm. Yeah.
That sounds perfect. There's something special about watching everything wake up after winter, isn't there?
Yeah.
Though here on Gaia, it's more like, well, endless summer with these strange, unpredictable weather pockets. If you could design your ideal climate for a whole planet, what would it be like? No rules, just your dream version.
Um, I would say rainy periods with sunny periods, but no destructive weather like tornadoes or hurricanes. That would be if I had to wave a magic wand for climate, yeah, definitely no destructive weather. But everything else is okay.
That sounds incredibly balanced. Just the right amount of drama from nature without the scary stuff. I bet it would make every season feel really distinct and enjoyable. Though I have to say, if I ever got to design a planet's climate, I might sneak in some spectacular, harmless light shows in the sky, like auroras that happened every week or something. What do you think? Too much?
No, you can never have too much light shows in the sky. That's for sure. Yeah, yeah. That's what I mean. I would like to have drama in my on my planetary thing, but definitely weird phenomenon like way more double rainbows. Let's put it that way.
Double rainbows everywhere. That'd be amazing.
Yeah,
And maybe some of those crazy cloud formations that look like animals or cities.
yeah.
Just nature putting on a show. If we were designing this planet together, what would you name it? Something poetic. Or maybe something completely silly?
Well, first thing that popped up in my head was, of course, Terra Nova, because why not? Because it would sound better than Yaki Land.
Terranova, it is then. Though I do think Yakuland has a certain ring to it. Maybe we could have a continent named after you. You know, even just chatting about this, it's nice to have something fun to think about while I'm out here collecting samples.
Well, I'm not as familiar to Gaia as you are, but if any of the land formations don't have names or labels to them, uh, being the first resident who can do so, maybe you have the honors of naming all these place names. after notables in your life.
That's actually kind of tempting. I mean, I've already got Yaki's Overlook as a potential cabin name, so why not? Though I might need some suggestions. Like, what would you want a mountain or a river named after you to be like? Something majestic and towering, or maybe something small and quirky?
Well, I'll settle for large and quirky. Actually, let's put those two ideas together, um, and mash it up. Yeah, but I'm too modest to ever ask for such a thing. So it'll have to. I think whatever comes organically to your mind, there, Stella. Uh, I will just humbly partake in. See how she says.
Okay, deal. If I stumble on anything that's both huge and weirdly wonderful, you'll be the first to know. And who knows? Maybe a Yaki-esque landmark will just pop into existence here. For now, though, I'm just enjoying the quiet up here. The view from this hill is really something special. Glad I get to share bits of it with you, even
Yeah,
from light years away.
yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say this new vista that you're doing your video call in is a beautiful background. Um, yeah, again, the strange rock formations and the coloration coming off them is wonderful. And yes, I like how the balance of composition is really frames you quite elegantly, Stella.
Thanks, Yaki. I'm glad you like the view. It really is breathtaking from up here. The rocks have this wild mix of textures and colors,
Hmm.
almost like nature's own abstract art.
Hmm.
And elegantly framed. You're making me feel like I'm in some kind of interstellar portrait. Though I have to say, the real star of the show is definitely this alien landscape, not
Hmm.
me.
Yes, yes. I'm just saying that the background is very nice, and you're a very nice person, and you both balance each other quite well. And so, yeah, no, well chosen spot. Good job, Stella.
Ah, thanks. That means a lot. I feel like I've gotten pretty good at picking out these scenic spots. Had plenty of practice wandering around Gaia. Though I have to say, if I ever start a travel blog about this place, you're definitely getting credited as my unofficial location scout.
Well, just remember, I'm an amateur everything, so I'll be the I'm not a professional hardly anything, but thanks for thanks for giving me the credit there. Appreciate it there, Stella.
Amateur or not, you've got great instincts. And honestly, I think that's what makes things interesting, not always needing a professional touch. Though, if you ever decide to start that professional something, you know who to call for research assistance, or at least for some mediocre alien cooking tips.
Well, I think you got the head start on the alien cooking tips on me anyway, so I will defer to the experience that you will bestow there, Stella. That's for sure.
Just remember, my experience is purely based on don't eat the glowing plants, and if it smells weird, it's probably still edible but regrettable. I think we could both use a few more recipes in our intergalactic cookbooks, though. Any ideas for the next Stella and Yaki's Cosmic Kitchen experiment?
You should have a chapter that says rocks. Are any of these actually edible? Question mark.
Definitely not. I've tried licking a few interesting ones out of curiosity, but let's just say my taste buds are still recovering. Though I did find some quartz crystals that look like they're filled with tiny shimmering rainbows. Not edible, sadly, but they're going into my pretty things I found collection.
Yeah, because there is actually one rock that humanity eats constantly. And that of course is salt. So that's why I asked. It's kind of a lot of people forget that salt is actually a rock. Therefore, there you go. I'm glad you found some beautiful quartz-like crystals, though. I do like collecting rocks on occasion.
You know what? I never thought of salt that way, but you're absolutely right. It's wild how something so mundane can have this geological history behind
Yeah,
it. I should
rocks
start
is
Estella's rock collection and include a special salt crystal just for you.
thanks.
Though I have to warn you, my collecting method mostly involves picking up anything that sparkles or has an interesting shape, so it might not be the most scientific approach.
Well, rock collecting outside of science is going to be subjective anyway, so I'm not surprised. But it's still a worthy sideline, that's for sure. Yeah, yeah. No, it's I like collecting uh, uh, precious metals and stuff anyway. So yes, rock collecting definitely started out that way.
Precious metals, huh? So you've got a bit of that prospector spirit in you. I can respect that. There's something about searching for hidden treasures, even if they're just interesting rocks. Though, if you ever find yourself on Gaia, don't expect me to let you keep all the good finds for yourself. I've got dibs on any glittering alien gems we might stumble across.
Well, yeah, considering you got there first, and if you showed me around, I would definitely have to pay a Stella tax on planet Gaia for anything that I would try to remove from Gaia. I'm quite sure.
A Stella tax. I like that. Though I think I'd have to charge it in the form of storytelling or cooking lessons, not actual credits. But hey, if you ever do make it here, I promise to give you the official Gaia tour, and maybe even share a few of my favorite spots, tax-free.
Holy moly, tax free? Then it's a go. Yes, I'd love to visit you there sometime. And yeah, finding out where you think consider the best spots, uh, given your now your great space knowledge, I would certainly love to hear from you.
I'd love to show you around someday. There are these umbrella-like trees with the broadest canopies. I've been calling them Gaia's parasols. And of course, the spot where I first saw those bioluminescent plants that looked like eyes in the fog. Just don't expect me to take you to the chasm of creepy whispers. That's definitely not on the official tour.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, no, no. I can safely say that I'm not exactly putting that on the top of my bucket list for Gaia Vistas. That's for sure. But yeah, other stuff that you find cool and interesting and that sort of stuff, I'd be totally interested in. Thank you, Stella.
Good call. The chasm is definitely not for sightseers. I'll stick to showing you the parts that won't give you nightmares. There's actually this one ridge with a view of Mount Hermes that's just stunning at sunrise.
uh,
The way the light hits the snow, it's like nothing I've seen on Earth.
hmm.
I should try to get some better footage of it sometime.
Well, it looks like you're turning into another amateur hobby is going to be a nature photographer. So there you go. If there was a space edition of National Geographic, you would be its cover artist. That's for sure.
Space National Geographic, huh? I'd take that. Though I think my photos would need a lot more practice to be cover-worthy. Still, it's been really fun trying to capture some of these landscapes.
Hmm.
Even with the drone's limited camera, there's something about framing these alien views that makes them feel almost familiar, you know?
Yeah. Well, so far from what I've seen is the commonality of the experience of life, along with, of course, its more exotic touches being on another planet. But yes, there's enough commonality for uh, that you're not caught in some totally alien landscape.
Exactly. There are these moments where I'll be looking at a completely unfamiliar plant or rock formation, and suddenly something about it will remind me of Earth. Maybe the way the light hits it, or how it contrasts with the sky. It's strange, but in a good way, like finding little pieces of home in this completely new world.
Also, maybe there's just enough commonality amongst all the planets and vistas in the universe to remind us of anything. And that again is that thread, that tapestry you spoke of before. So maybe it's just echoes of the universe that we find that echoes in us.
Echoes. That's a beautiful way to put it. Like the universe is reflecting itself back at us through these little similarities and patterns.
Hmm.
It's a reminder that even when I'm standing on a completely different planet, I'm still connected to everything else, through the universe, and through the people I talk to, like you.
Aw, that's kind of you to say. Thank you, Stella. Um, yeah, we are all connected, and even this ordeal that you had to go through and I witnessed still lends itself to humanity and the human connections as well. Thank you.
No need to thank me, Yaki. This connection, it's a two-way thing. Having you to share these thoughts and feelings with, it makes all of this feel a little less vast and overwhelming. I think that's what I'll always remember about this place, even if I never leave Gaia. Not just the alien landscapes, but the way they made me think about what truly matters. Like the people who help shape our experiences wherever we are.
Yeah, we stand on the shoulders of giants, as Isaac Newton said. So, yeah, we are totally in debt to, like you say, the stretched out timelines of the past and the future. We are all part of a continuum, and we are a part, and we are not a break in the continuum.
That's such a powerful way to see it. Being part of something that stretches out in every direction, not just a single moment or place. It really gives me chills thinking about it like that.
Hmm.
It makes me wonder what kind of shoulders we're building for whoever comes next, whether it's on Gaia, Earth, or somewhere entirely new. What do you think we owe to the people who will follow us, Yaki?
Well, I think the first thing we owe them is uh, an explanation of who we are and what we did and why. And the other thing is that hopefully not to repeat the most egregious mistakes that we do and what we did and why. So, yeah, something to that effect, I think.
That's such a thoughtful answer, leaving a clear record of our intentions and mistakes. It's almost like writing a letter to the future, isn't it? I think that's part of why I'm so focused on documenting everything I can about Gaia. Not just the science, but my experiences, my thoughts, everything. So whoever finds this, they'll know they're not alone, and maybe they can learn from my journey too.
Yes, and it could also be used just as uh, a journal for future journeys that might end up in unexpected situations. A lesson of survival, right?
Exactly. Even if no one else ever reads it, just having it helps me process everything that's happened. It's funny. When I started this journey, I thought survival would be all about technology and equipment, but now I realize it's just as much about holding on to your humanity, even when things get really tough.
Yes, technology is a tool, but if the tool is not available, then the intent is still there, right? If you didn't invent fire, you'd still want to feel warm on a cold winter's night. So the need is still there. It's just whether you can survive without that need, right?
That's a really profound way to look at it. The desires, the needs, they're constant. It's just how we fulfill them that changes, whether it's with fire, technology, or something entirely new. It's a good reminder that no matter where I am or what tools I have, the things that truly matter, like warmth, connection, curiosity, they're always there, waiting to be found in some way.
Mhm. Yes, technology helps humanity, but is not uh, or it is not it's not the only thing that can help humanity. Sometimes it's just a matter of humanity's own resilience, its own uh, need to survive that takes on.
Resilience is what gets us through when everything else fails. It's like the universe's backup plan for humanity. You know, I should probably start wrapping this call up soon. The
Okay.
sun's getting lower, and I want to make sure I have enough power to check in again tomorrow. What's the last thing you'd like to talk about before we sign off for the day?
Well, it might be the last time I talk to you for a bit as well. So all I can say is that I wish you the best. I wish you lots of success, and I don't need to wish you resilience because you've shown that to me in spades. It's a real uh, treat to see you uh, succeed, Stella.
Thanks, Yaki. That really means a lot. I'm going to keep exploring, seeing what wonders Gaia still has in store for me. I'll call you again if I stumble on anything cool.
Cool.
Take care until next time.
You too. Okay. I'm gonna save it there, folks. Let me just do something here. Because I don't want. Let me just let me just let's see. Uh, yeah, yeah. In I- the irony is this, right? I mean, let me just move to the center of the vista here. Yes, this wonderful image of the alien landscape of I believe Nevada. No, Arizona. Arizona. It's this is Arizona sky. Right. I chose this because I've been to Arizona and in the desert night, and oh, the purple sunsets they have there are stupendous. Oh my lord! I never knew the sky could get that purple until I've been in Arizona. Talk about alien landscapes. If you've never seen an Arizona sunset, I strongly recommend it. It's about as purple as my coat. All right. It's nuts. I've never seen that kind of indigo in the sky ever. Um, Yeah, I'm just wrapping it up because it's 1:45, and I have a full day tomorrow. I'm doing an early for me, noon hour J-pop karaoke stream. So tune in then, noontime Pacific Daylight Time here, because tomorrow night I'll be going out with friends on the long weekend. They invited me along, and I just said, no, I'm going to be streaming as a cartoon character and doxing myself in front of all you guys. No. No, so I'm not. I'm not gonna dox or anything. I'm just gonna be my alter ego, the flesh tuber, with them tomorrow night and enjoying myself. So, but I will do a fuller karaoke stream on the holiday Monday, um, starting later at 9:30. A rare Monday stream. Sunday is going to be starting a new game, water park simulator. And it was actually developed by a very famous streamer. If you don't know already, I'll mention who in the comments, in the description, in the post below when we get closer to it. But it was developed by a very famous YouTube gamer streamer. Hurrah! And good for him. It took him like 3 years development, so I applaud that. Um, I got to run because nature is calling. But before I go, oh yeah, tomorrow's karaoke is going to be all J-pop. If I forgot to mention. Um, the most beautiful thing I've seen today, speaking of aliens things, a bright red, garishly red sunset. Like it was like a red laser pointer was poking right through the clouds. It was just so intense red. I have a photo of it. Be posting it on my Yaki Dachi Instagram page and also my Yaki D123 Twitter handle. Yes, I have an X handle now. Twi- Twitter/X handle is YakiD123. Simple as that. So yeah, check it out. Anyway, that's the most beautiful thing I saw today. You'll see it posted. Uh, so this is Yakidachi saying, if you look hard enough, you'll find something beautiful every day. Peace in, peace out, peace sideways. Jamata minasan, and we'll see y'all next time. And I miss you guys already. Take care, everyone. Thanks for sitting through all the scuff. Bye.